time to recap my entire experience at Creamfields Music Festival in the United Kingdom, and at the end of this video, I'll tell you if I recommend it or not. I attended Creamfields Music Festival. This is my merch because I love getting merch at every festival now. I've been wanting to go to Creamfields since 2019, and there are a few editions of Creamfields. If you've been on my channel for a while, then you know that I went to Creamfields Hong Kong last year in 2024, but Creamfields in the United Kingdom is the main one, and then they have a few sprinkled about, like some in Brazil and Chile, I think, and a few others in Asia, but this is Creamfields in the United Kingdom. The exact location of this festival is held in Daresbury, Cheshire, United Kingdom, and it's typically a 4-day camping festival, so people get to check in on a Thursday. There are some shows on Thursday, but I'd say the full lineup, the heavy hitters, start on Friday. So in my case, I did not camp because I am not a camper. So I started my Creamfields on Friday, and I did Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. There are multiple tiers and different types of tickets. So there are the camping tickets, and then there are the daytime tickets. So the daytime ticket is the one that I got. These are paper tickets from Creamfields. They do not do wristbands. It's not my paper tickets mailed to me, and it's one per day. And then within those, there are different levels of tiers. So I don't know much about camping, but I do know that there's a bronze camping, a standard camping, and a gold camping, I believe. And then for the daytime tickets, it's either standard or gold. Now, don't make the same mistake that I did, and I assumed that standard is a GA ticket and a gold ticket is a VIP ticket. Now, the website is very clear on the types of amenities that are provided, and based on the description, a gold ticket is giving a very much VIP. There are a lot of the same amenities that you would find in a typical VIP section of any festival. The flushable toilets, a place to fill up your water bottle, lots of comfy places to sit, a specific area. So there are a lot of the same amenities that a regular VIP festival would have. However, a gold ticket only gives you access to one area of the festival. Now, this one area is called the hospitality arena. And within that arena, you have all of these comfortable amenities, lots of places to sit down and eat. There's some photo opportunity. There's specific areas of like food and drink that are not offered on the main side of the festival. There's covered areas to protect you from the elements. There's a photo booth in there. There's this really cool slow-mo video opportunity. There's lots of like these big comfy couches and places to like comfortably sit down and eat. There's also special music back there. And the coolest part that I thought of the gold ticket provides is a complimentary meal every day with your ticket. And so they had 4 different options: a burger option, a pizza option, a chicken sandwich, and then they also had a vegetarian option. I'm not a vegetarian, so I switched off between the burger, the chicken sandwich, and the pizza, and that food was actually really, really good. So you might be saying, what about that isn't VIP? So typically at other festivals, VIP includes sections by each stage, carved out area next to the stage in addition to the GA where you can like get close to the stage, and then sometimes like those places have additional bathroom. That is not a thing at Creamfields. There are no VIP or even gold sections next to the stages. The gold ticket only gives you access to the hospitality arena, which is at the very, very back of the festival. So what I found out, because I posted a video on TikTok and Instagram of like my experience that this is the worst VIP ever, and the UK came for me. They were like, this isn't even a VIP section. The website doesn't advertise it as such. And some people were really actually nice about it. Thank you to those. And they explained like this is more of an amenity for the campers. So it makes sense now that I'll put up a map here that this hospitality arena is at the very back of the festival. And I wasn't even sure how to find it. Like I had to ask around, like you see it on the map, but I'm like, how do we even get to it? There's no sign saying hospitality arena or gold section this way, none of that, until you actually like get around it. So it's also right next to the camping entrance. Somebody explained to me that this is much more of an amenity for campers because it's open earlier and it's open later than the actual festival area where all like the artists play and perform. So it's just like a nice comfort area for campers to kind of escape and chill out. And I guess that also kind of explains why there's meals included too. So gold ticket is much more of an amenity for campers, I'd say. If you have a daytime ticket, yes, you have access to all those things, but it was kind of a pain in the ass just having to, every time I needed to use the bathroom or fill up my water bottle, because like if I paid for that ticket, I'm gonna go use those bathrooms. I don't want to use the porta potties. So I would have to just trek all the way back to this specific area every time that I needed to take a break or use the bathroom. And this cost me $560 US. I'm saying US because my audience is US, so I don't know how much it is in pounds, but a 3-day daytime only gold ticket, 560 American dollars. I've paid less than that for VIP tickets at American festivals where I had these sections next to each stage and bathroom and nice bathrooms sprinkled throughout the festival. So I really don't think it's worth it for a daytime ticket holder. For campers, absolutely, because like when you're camping, you want that nice area to go and get out of the elements and sit on nice couches and use nice bathrooms because you're out there living in that, depending on which ticket you got, 3 to 4 days. So I think a gold ticket is much more worth it for campers than daytime tickets. A standard daytime ticket, 3 days, starts at 395 American dollars. There's a little bit of a difference between the standard and gold tickets for daytime only. I don't know camping prices. Let's talk about the venue. I really enjoyed the venue. It is huge and it is spread out so nice. Like this is actually a pretty big festival. There were 9 stages. This venue has 9 stages and pretty much saw a set at each stage, and most of the stages were covered. So if you know anything about the UK or the history of Creamfields, normally it rains and it gets muddy. So when I was doing my research on this festival and looking at past TikToks and YouTubes, all I saw were just rainy, muddy videos, just one after the other. So thankfully, it did not rain on me there. It sprinkled a little bit, but I never had to trek through ankle deep mud at any point in time like I was watching these past videos. But Creamfields is prepared for this. So most of the stages are covered, like either in tent-like structures or giant metal structures. So that's the good thing. They are prepared for this. So even if it is a torrential downpour, if you're at a covered stage, like you won't even feel it. And most of those stages too have like wood chips or like plastic flooring down. So you wouldn't even be standing in mud. So I think that they did a really good job of that, protecting from the elements in case that does happen, because that typically does happen. There are also rides provided. However, you do have to pay for them. They're not included, and that's something that I'm not used to because most American festivals that I've been to, if a festival has rides, they're normally included in the price of the ticket. Let's talk about accommodations now. So this is typically a camping festival. A lot of people do camp, but I mentioned already in this video, I do not camp, and don't come for me. I've tried camping. I've done Tomorrowland camping, I've done EDC RV camping, and I've done tent camping at Electric Forest. I've done it. I've paid my dues. I do not like camping, so I especially wasn't going to camp in the UK where the temperatures get as low as 55 degrees and possibility of rain. Not doing it. So you can get a daytime ticket and get hotel accommodations. What I did was I stayed in Manchester, and Manchester is about 45 minutes to an hour away from the Creamfields venue. Now, of course, there are cities that are closer. You could stay in Liverpool or even the town that's around the festival, but I wanted to fly into Manchester, like the big city that's the closest or like biggest airport and most convenient and cost effective for me. So I also just wanted to book a hotel in there too, and also wanted to be like in a lively part of the city. So when I wasn't at the festival, I'd have stuff to do like the day before and plenty of stuff to eat and all of that. I did stay at the Holiday Inn Express. That was my accommodation. It was about a 7-minute walk to the shuttle stop. Highly recommend. They have breakfast every morning, and it's like a really good breakfast too. So if you're looking for a place to stay, there are also lots of hotels around there. How did I get to and from Manchester to the festival? That'll lead me to my next point, which is transportation. So thankfully Creamfields does offer transportation, so that also helped me narrow down which city I was going to stay in. They do offer shuttles, and I think the main places that they're coming out from are like Warrington, Liverpool, and Manchester, and a few other places. I got a Manchester shuttle for a 3-day round trip. It came out to about 87 American dollars. When you are looking to pick which shuttle, it tells you where the shuttle stop is going to be and everything. I went by myself, so I have to think about my safety. So I wanted to be within walking distance to the shuttle stop. So I found a hotel within like a 5 to 10 minute walk around that stop so I could feel comfortable walking to and from the shuttle stop on my own, thankfully. However, those shuttle tickets were never mailed to me. And so I started contacting Ticketmaster because that is the official seller of the Creamfields. I contacted Ticketmaster, letting them know like, hey, I didn't get my shuttle tickets, but I Googled and I found some Reddit forums and they said like, it's okay, like with proof of purchase, you should be able to get on the shuttle. Well, when I was on my way to Creamfields, I got an official email. Like I was already in flight to the United Kingdom. I got an official email from Ticketmaster saying like, sorry, we weren't able to mail out the tickets. You can pick them up at the shuttle stop. Proof of purchase and an ID. So I was like, am I gonna get a refund for the cost of shipping? Because I paid, I think it was like 17 American dollars for the cost of shipping. And I didn't know if I was gonna get that. And then I checked my bank statement and they did. So bravo, thank you for that. They handled this really well. So even though the shuttle tickets were not mailed to me in time, they did provide a solution. Pick them up at the shuttle stop, you'll be fine. And they did refund the cost of shipping. So thank you for that, Creamfields. You did a good job in handling that. And also with the shuttles, when you purchase the shuttle, they are timed. So you can't just get like an anytime shuttle pass. You have to buy it by a certain time. I showed up for my shuttle time every single time, but what I found out is like if you miss your time, so say like I had a 3 p.m. shuttle the first day. When I got there, people were showing up like I missed my 2 p.m. shuttle, I missed my 1 p.m. shuttle. The bus driver says we have to let everybody on with a 3 p.m. shuttle first, and if there's room then you can get on. Normally everybody would get on, but you also have to take into consideration that if everybody showed up at their correct time, that you may not get on, and then the next one will come in the next hour. I got a 3 p.m., a 2 p.m., and a 1 p.m. shuttle. The 1 p.m. was pretty rough because it's like you wake up at 11, have to get ready, and then go. I liked the 3 p.m. shuttle. So if you're coming from Manchester, take into consideration it's going to take you an hour to get there. So if you get on the 3 p.m. shuttle, you're not getting to the venue until 4 p.m. Most of my artists weren't coming on until like 5 anyway. So I would say in general, a 3 p.m. shuttle is ideal. And then on the way back, you can come back whenever. They start running at 10 p.m. and then they run for a couple of hours. So the people of Creamfields, what is the crowd like? So I'm always a little hesitant when I go to international festivals as an American because I also rep my flag. I like to rep where I'm from. And what I've come to notice is that it's a conversation starter. You have a lot of people that come up to you because they recognize the flag. They're like, oh my God, you're from the United States. That's so cool. You came all the way for this. So the people were very warm, welcoming to me. I didn't have any issues with the people of the UK. So thank you to all the British people that I've encountered because you guys were nice. And I also met people from different places too, like Turkey or Ireland, and everybody was just super welcoming. Some people even wanted to take pictures with me. And I also had some people that followed me. Like, I think that is so cool that I had followers that lived over there in the UK that recognized me and approached me. So thank you. I love when people come up and say hi. So don't ever be too shy, because even after that, like I got a few DMs like, I saw you at the stage, but I was too shy to come and say hi. Like, please, I love it. I love meeting everybody. So overall, I had a very nice, warm welcome from the people of the festival. People would see me trying to take videos or pictures of myself, and people would come and offer and help. I even had somebody give me their charging cord because mine broke. The only one that I took with me over there broke. I was at the festival. I would have went and bought one at the festival if they had them. But this girl was like, just keep it. I have more at the camp after, because she was asking me like, are you by yourself? You don't have any friends? You came, you know, you're from the United States. And I said, yeah. She was like, just keep it. Like, that is so incredibly nice. So again, thank you to the people of the UK for giving me a warm welcome. And overall, I really didn't feel like this festival got too crowded at any point in time. I was there Friday through Sunday. So I would say Saturday was the day that I saw a like pickup in people. Like, there was a line to get into VIP and lines started forming at the bathrooms, but that's typically any festival. And it was just when you're like walking to and from stages where it'd get a little bit thick. But at the stages, so thankfully, even though this festival didn't have VIP sections, I always had plenty of room to dance. Like, I got to the rail so many times. And one thing about me is like, I don't want to be a sardine in the festival. I always want plenty of room to dance. I will never fight my way to the rail, but if I go to a stage and I can easily walk right up to it, I'm gonna go to the rail. I never had any issues. I was always so comfortable. And people are also extremely polite when it comes to getting through the crowds. Anytime somebody would like step on me or bump into me, because nobody's doing it on purpose, right? You're in a thick crowd, it happens. People would always automatically say, excuse me, or I'm sorry, or pardon. So people are very respectful getting to and from the crowds, and I really appreciate that. But yeah, overall, always had plenty of space to dance. I never really felt too crowded or concerned at any point in time. So the crowd overall is a thumbs up, and the crowding was also pretty good too. Let's talk about the lineup. The lineup was a heavy hitter. When I saw that lineup and that there were tickets still for sale, I was like, this is the year that I'm going. I'm a house and techno girly, in that they had so many house and techno options. Like, yes, this definitely isn't like a dubstep festival heavy bass by any means. Definitely more on the house and techno side, and I love it. I would say the lineup is very comparable to like an Ultra Miami. That's giving the same vibes, and I've seen a lot of these artists at Ultra Miami, even just this year. My top sets were Eli Brown. I love Armin van Buuren. That's the one set I cried at. Charlotte DeWitt and Billy Gillies. Art Bat was my favorite set of the whole weekend, and I would say Eli Brown was the second set. I wish I would have seen more of his set. I split it between him and Sarah Landry. Now I love Sarah, but I love Eli more, and I even made it on the playback. When you go look up his Creamfields set on YouTube, you see me. I'm gonna insert a clip here so you guys can see me. Oh my god, that is so cool. Like, Eli Brown's one of my favorite artists, so to be able to make it on one of his sets multiple times is like, what an honor. What an honor. And that's because I was able to be right up front, wasn't too crowded, so I'm grateful for that opportunity. And I also really love seeing Alesso. That was the smallest Alesso crowd I've ever seen in my life. It kind of hurt my feelings that there weren't that many people there, but it kind of worked out in my favor because I was able to walk up all the way to the front. I will never be that close to an Alesso set in America, so it kind of worked out for me, and I had plenty of room to dance. Overall, I loved this lineup, and there were so many people that I wanted to see. Like, I basically had to split all the sets like in 30-minute increments because it was just like back to back, just seeing one person after the other. So they are pretty amazing with the lineup. The festival food. I'm a girly that likes to eat at festivals. I will eat at every single festival. So I mentioned earlier that one of the perks of having a gold ticket was that I got a complimentary meal every day. So I would eat in there every single day, and I would typically eat right when I would get into the festival, and then eat like right before the end of the night. So overall, I enjoyed the food more in the gold section than I did outside of the festival. So in the gold section, I had a burger one day, a pizza, and then a chicken sandwich, and then outside I ate a halloumi wrap that is delicious, and then I ate fish and chips because you can't go to the UK without eating fish and chips, but that was not it. I did not like the fish and chips, and they have typical offerings that an American festival would, so like pizza and burgers, macaroni and cheese, all sorts of things. So overall, I think I got like a pretty good variety of the festival food, and it's very comparable to prices at American festivals. Like when I did pay for the meals, like the fish and chips and the halloumi wrap, it was $17. Like, I've paid that much for food at US festivals as well. The weather in the UK, she's wild. She's wild. So I've already kind of briefly mentioned it, that typically it's going to be rainy and cold during this festival. So thankfully that didn't happen, but I come prepared. I do not like the rain, especially when it's cold, so I came prepared. I brought an umbrella, I brought a poncho, I bought specific boots that I would be prepared to throw away in case they got too muddy, because this has happened to me before. I've been in festivals where it was rainy and muddy and I had to throw away those shoes. So I came prepared with shoes that I could wear all 3 days and that I would have no problem throwing away. I also came with a jacket and then a pair of leggings to put on. So come prepared, because you never know what can happen. The temperature all weekend, it was as cold as 55 and then as high as 65. So I'm a girl that was born and raised in Texas, and I lived in Miami for a few years as well. So like, I am a hot-blooded girl, warm-blooded. So 55 degrees, 65 degrees, that's cold to me, especially when the sun is not out and then it's super windy. that's cold to me. So I was using my jacket towards the end of the night every day, and then when I would get done with the festival, I would put on my pants because it was cold. So thankfully, day 1 didn't rain at all. Day 2, it started sprinkling towards the end of the night when I was already leaving, and then day 3, it sprinkled for a little bit in the middle of the day, but I went straight to a stage where it was covered and I was fine. So it was never a torrential downpour at any point in time. I think maybe Thursday, but I wasn't there Thursday, so it didn't even matter. Thankfully, I got super lucky with the weather, but if you plan on going to Creamfields, just prepare for a cold and rainy weather, because I saw people out there with no jackets, no umbrellas, no ponchos, and I don't know how they would do it. I can't handle that, so I would rather be safe than sorry and protected from the elements. How was the cell service out there? Text would eventually go through, very slow, but I had no access to social media whatsoever. Sometimes I like to try to post as I'm there at the festival, but that just was not an option. So be prepared that if you're going with friends and that you split up with people, that text should eventually go through. And I was just texting regular text messages, and then I was on WhatsApp. Again, both would eventually go through, and I would also receive text, but it would just take forever. So my suggestion is that if you're gonna be meeting up with people or you split up, just always have a meeting point and a time point so you can easily reconnect if the cell service isn't working. Outfits of Creamfields. When I go to international festivals, especially by myself, I do dress differently than I would at an American festival, especially by myself, because I'm a girl and I just don't want to attract too much unwanted attention, because that's the reality of it. So I don't do the bodysuits and typically have my titties too much out and bodysuits with like ass out and everything. If I'm gonna wear a bodysuit, I have a skirt. So my outfits for this festival, day 1, I wore a 2-piece set that I made myself, and then day 2 was a bodysuit with a skirt. And then day 3 I was gonna wear a halter black dress, but it was cold, so I ended up wearing a long sleeve black dress. I was very comfortable all weekend and I still felt cute, but also too, like, international festivals, they're just different. This is my 7th international festival, and the style is just different than American festivals. The American rave aesthetic is very much the American rave aesthetic, and that's not typical of other places. Now, there are going to be a few people just over the top and very similar to an American rave look, like the braids or the sparkly bras or bodysuits and fishnets, but that's not typical of an international festival. And I have been to plenty. I've been to festivals in Europe, in Asia, and in South America, so I have been to quite a bit, and it's just much more of a casual look. In general, rave boys across the world are all very casual anyways, like shorts and a tank or just a t-shirt. But for the girlies, I noticed at this festival it's a lot of skirts and crop tops, halter tops, little shorts and boots. Like, that's very much the typical, like, just casual kind of look. So I kind of like was along those lines as well. So again, you're not going to see too much of the flashy, flamboyant outfits that you see on the rave girlies in the United States. So, like, definitely no stompers. I didn't see one girl in platforms at all at Creamfields, and like no pasties. There's really no rave booty either. Not so much like the festival braids or crazy wigs. Group costumes, the only ones that I really saw were like animal print ones, like a group of people wearing leopard, a group of people wearing zebra. Like, that's as far as the group costumes would go. And because this festival is typically rainy and cold, people dress for that. So I did see a lot of people in their jackets and pants and, you know, closed-toed comfy shoes and just protection. When it started raining, I saw a lot of people pull out their ponchos. So in general, it's a very casual and comfortable style dress for this festival. I do have some complaints for this festival. I mentioned earlier that there were rides and you had to pay for the rides, and the rides were like 8 to 12 pounds. So for an American, that's like 12 to 15 American dollars. So this is my first time going to a festival where you have to pay for the rides, and this may be normal for people in the UK, because that was something like in these videos they were like, what are you talking about? This is normal of every festival. I'm like, no, it's not. Like, just because that's normal to you, it's not normal to other festivals. Like, I've been to other festivals and even in other countries that you don't have to pay for the rides. It's built into the price of the ticket. And I'm surprised even for, like, I went and made sure, because I was like, I have a gold ticket. Do I get the rides? And they said no. So you would think like a gold ticket costing 560 American dollars, like they could at least build that in. At least the gold tickets have access to the rides. So that was one complaint. And again, it's a complaint just because I'm not used to that at other festivals. You may be used to that. You've always had to pay for rides. Well, I'm not. I've never seen that before. So that, and I do get on the rides when they're included. So like at EDC, I'm on all those damn rides. The daytime tickets don't have access to lockers. Somebody on one of my videos commented saying that there were lockers in the med tent and that they would hold them there for you. I never would have found those lockers. I searched up and down that website and I only read that there were lockers inside the camp area, but not in the actual festival. And let's look at a map, because I went back, I was like, where was the med tent? Because I walked that whole venue and did a venue tour. I never saw the med tent. So look at where the med tent is. Like, you don't even walk past it, you have to go and find it. So how would I ever have known that there were lockers there? But then I also saw somebody else comment saying, as a British person that buys a daytime ticket, I don't like that they don't have lockers. So maybe the one person that used the med tent lockers got lucky, or just asked them to hold her shit for her. Like, I don't know. It's a cold and rainy festival, so I brought stuff to protect myself. And I had people saying like, next time don't bring so much stuff, you're not camping. I'm like, it rains and it's cold there. I'm not about to be like a dirty, grimy person just being exposed to the mud in the rain and freezing my ass off. I'm taking protection. So of course I needed my stuff to take with me. That stuff I would have liked to have put in a locker. Like, I would have to tie my jacket onto my backpack and let it hang down because I didn't have anywhere to put it. It wasn't going to fit in my backpack, and my backpack was stuffed with the poncho, the umbrella, everything. So the argument of just don't bring so much stuff is not realistic at Creamfields when it rains and it gets cold. I don't think that a gold ticket is worth it for daytime people. I've already mentioned that, but $560 for a daytime only gold ticket to have to trek every time you need to go to the bathroom or use the amenities in one area, and not having access to, and not having like specific sections next to the stages. Like, I've never seen that at any festival, that a festival didn't have any kind of VIP sections next to the stages. Like, I just don't think it's worth it. So I would say save your money and get a standard ticket for $395 instead of paying that extra $100 or whatever for a gold ticket where you only have access to one area. This festival also gets super trashed, and to be fair, one of the areas that I was in where like it was the eating section, I only saw like one group of trash cans in this like huge eating section with lots of tables. So one little pile of 6 trash cans is not enough for all of these tables and all of these food stands. So there was just trash all over the floors. The tables were piling up with trash too. Like, there's nowhere for these people to throw away their stuff. I think like the festival needs to do a better job of providing trash receptacles so people can clean up after themselves. And maybe they still wouldn't, I don't know, but I have seen this at other festivals too. So if you want people to clean up after yourselves, just make sure that there are plenty of trash cans provided by the festival and that they're emptied out too, because I've seen trash cans pile up. So let's keep it clean, provide the trash cans, and clean up after yourselves. The last complaint that I had was that I would see boys just pissing everywhere. I saw boys pissing along the like perimeters of the festivals on the wood paneling, and I was warned about it. So I did meet a girl, her name is Zana. She was so welcoming. I met her like in the first 30 minutes of me being inside Creamfields. She lives there. She is a UK raver, but she's so kind. And so we were hanging out, and I remember I kind of like leaned up against one of the panels, and she's like, don't do that. The boys wee on them. And then I saw it, and it's like once I saw it, I kept seeing it. So I saw boys pissing on all those wood palings. And then also, so I mentioned that the stages were covered and some of them had tent-like structures. They would come out, right? And just right outside of these tents on the side, just start pissing all over them. And people are sitting right next to it. So I did also see that at Tomorrowland, and on one of my videos on Instagram, somebody said, this is just European festivals that they do that. So you've been warned that the boys piss everywhere. Now, do I recommend Creamfields? Should you go? What's my overall opinion? What's my overall rating about it? Yes. I give Creamfields an 8 out of 10, and if this is a festival that you've been wanting to go to, like I've been wanting to go to since 2019, I say yes, I absolutely recommend it. The lineup is usually a heavy hitter. It's a pretty big festival. There's so many different stages. There's so many different artists. The people are so nice and welcoming, and if it doesn't rain, it's actually going to be a really good weekend. I had a great time, and the things that I just did complain about are not deal breakers to me. Like, people saw these complaints that I had, like about the rides, the lockers in the VIP section. People are like, sounds like a shitty festival. I'm like, if you're going to a festival for rides and lockers, then maybe then like you shouldn't, like if that's gonna be a deal breaker for you, like I don't, then that's just wild. Like these were just annoyances, they're not deal breakers to me. So take all that aside, like, and I have things that annoy me at every damn festival. No festival is perfect. Like even Tomorrowland, like they don't have water stations. That's not a deal breaker to me, right? So take those little annoyances aside, I had a great time at Creamfields. So yes, I give it a thumbs up. Now I'm a one and done type girly. Yes, I had a great time, and yes, I recommend you go, but I don't need to do it again. I want to keep dancing across the globe, one festival at a time, and just keep trying new festivals and new experiences in different countries. Now there are so many other Creamfields, so like I would go to Creamfields in Chile. I've never been to Chile, and I like the Creamfields brand in general. Like I had a good time at Hong Kong Creamfields, so I want to keep going to the other editions of Creamfields, but I don't need to do the Creamfields in the UK again. But yeah, overall it was a great time. I think that you should go if you've been wanting to do it. So thank you guys for watching and coming along with me on my solo Creamfields journey, because I did this completely alone, and you can too. Remember, don't be afraid to do things alone. There are ways to do it safely and soundly. I am a testament of that, and I have done plenty of, this is my third international festival that I've done completely alone, and I'm still here to tell the tales. Follow me if you're new to this channel so you can keep coming with me and seeing how I take care of myself when I'm alone at these festivals, and just experiencing different festivals in other countries as well. So thank you again for watching, and I'll see you next time.